You don't push people away because you're difficult. You push them away because love always left. What if you were not pushing people away because something is wrong with you? What if you were not pushing people away because you were too much? What if the distance, the silence, the walls you built were never about them at all? What if they were about every person who was supposed to love you and they left? Welcome back. My name is Lady Divine Essence, a certified wellness coach. And today I want to sit with you inside a truth that many women carry quietly. There is a woman I want you to meet today. She is not cold. She is thoughtful. She is not unavailable. She is careful. She does not push people away because she does not want love, but she pushes people away because she has learned in ways her body still remembers that love is not safe to hold on to. She grew up in a home where love was inconsistent, not absent, inconsistent, in which many ways is harder because absent teaches you what is missing. Inconsistency teaches you not to trust what is present. Maybe the mother was there, but not really there, not really present in the home, absence in the room. Maybe the father came and went, affection appearing and disappearing without warning, without explanation. And she, as a little girl, watched all of this. She absorbed all of this without anyone ever sitting down and saying to her, "This is not your fault. This is not what love is supposed to feel like." So she did what most children do when no one explains the wound. She adapted. I want you to hear me on this. The nervous system is not dramatic. It does not make things up. It learns, it watches, it records what happens when you reach for love and what happens next. And when what happens next is pain, when what happens next is distance, when what happens next is rejection, emotional disappearance, the nervous system makes a note that love equals danger. Not in all words, in the body, in the tightening, in the shutting down, in the quiet retreat that happens every time someone begins to get close. Because somewhere deep inside her body, love became connected to inconsistency, emotional distance, rejection, unpredictability, being left emotionally alone. And after a while, her nervous system stopped experiencing closeness as safe. It experienced closeness as a warning. And guess what? This is not a flaw. This is intelligence, painful isolation, isolating intelligence. But intelligence, her body was protecting her from what it had already survived. And when abandonment happens repeatedly, the nervous system adapted, it makes rules. Rules it never announces out loud. Never fully relax, never fully trust, never need too much. Leave behind or before you left. I want you to hear me again. Never fully relax, never fully trust, never need too much. Leave before you are left. This became a way that she survived love. If you never fully trusted, you cannot be devastated. If you never needed too much, you cannot be rejected. for the size of your needs. She stopped texting back. She pulled away when things got too close. She became quiet, not because she did not care, but because caring had always carried consequences. She built her independence into an armor, and from the outside it looked like strength. It was, but it was also a wound that had learned to walk upright. And the most painful part, she judged herself for all of it. She sat alone and asked herself, why do I keep pushing people away? Why can't I just let someone love me? Without realizing, her body already knew the answer. Distance once protected her from devastation. If this is landing somewhere in your body right now, I want you to stay with me because this is where it begins to shift. Stay. We are going to heal together. This is where some women sabotage healthy relationships, not because they don't want them, but because they do deeply. This is why some women emotionally detach the moment someone begins to love them consistently. Not because the love is wrong, because consistent love is unfamiliar. And the nervous system does not want to trust what is unfamiliar. This is why some women feel overwhelmed when someone really truly cares about them, not because they are broken, but because somewhere inside of them, love becomes associated with emotional danger. And so that moment, love begins to feel real. Her nervous system prepares for loss before loss even arrives. She becomes hyper independent. She stops communicating. She convinces herself, I don't need anybody. Not because it is true, but because needing feels like the beginning of a wound she has already survived before. And underneath that independence was grief. Because the truth is, she wants love. Or she wanted love. She just never learned how to feel safe inside of it. And this is where the healing begins. Not when she becomes someone different, not when she fixes herself, not when she learns to perform openness. She does not yet feel in her body. Healing begins the moment she realizes, I was never difficult to love. Let me say this clearly. I was never difficult to love. I was wounded in a place that taught me love could disappear. And now I build everything I need to survive that's disappearing. She was not broken. She was not adapting. She was not cold. She was careful. This was not unavailable. She was protecting the part of herself that had already been left too many times. That self-protection, those walls, that silence, that distance, it was not her personality, it was protection. And protection that has outlived its danger is simply waiting to be released. You were never too much. You were not enough. You were a woman who learned to love from a wound, and now you are learning to love from a place of safety. Because healing is not just learning how to love someone else. Healing is teaching the nervous system that connection no longer has to feel like danger. This is the work, slow work, tender work that does not happen overnight, but happens in small moments when you choose to stay instead of fleeing, when you let someone see you even a little bit, when you notice the walls going up and you breathe instead of disappearing. Safe love does not require performing. It does not require chasing. It does not require shrinking or overprotecting or abandoning yourself before someone else can. Safe love simply asks you to return to return to your body, return to your breath, return to the signals you learned to override, and remind yourself gently again and again that what is here right now is not what it was before. You are not in that same house anymore. That little girl survived, and now you are the woman who gets to decide what love looks like from here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you staying with me through this. This is something tender, and this is something true. If this video, if it has touched you, something in you, something you have never quite had words for before, I want you to share it. Share it with a woman who is still asking herself, why do I keep pushing people away? She needs to know it was never because she was difficult. It was because love always left. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and come back because this healing, your healing, is only just beginning. I hope that you have a blessed evening, and my beloved, and I'll see you in the next one.